welcome to the podcast. Today's guest is John Lamb. John, welcome.
Hello. Happy Sundays. Are you all right?
Yeah, indeed. It's we were just talking off, Michael, and we typically lovely weather outside, and we're all locked down.
Yeah, it looks like it's standard procedures at the minute for us. We're told to stay indoors and the sun is a-shining. But that's what we
Yeah,
call sod's
standard.
law.
Yeah, couldn't make it up, could you, mate?
No, you couldn't, mate, unfortunately.
Right. So, for those people that don't know you, give us a bit of background about who you are, what you do, and we'll go from there, mate.
Okay, so if you don't know who I'm already, then I'm just a crazy scouser from Liverpool, moved away to Sheffield. I've been fishing for a very long time since I started senior school, and in the past couple of years, I've gone about using social media to project and advocate not just only my angling, but also the behind the scenes of what goes on in my daily life in regards to what I do within my angling adventures.
Yeah.
Started a hashtag a couple of years ago called Urban Carp Collective, and it sort of caught fire. Everyone seemed to relate to it and sort of like get involved with it. And now, 2.5, nearly 3 years later, we're sort of in the movements of having a big global urban concrete carping community,
Brilliant.
which has conformed over the past, like I say, 2 years, and it's become a really big family. So at the minute, in regards to my own angling, I'm just taking it in my stride, nothing too rushed, and putting the time in and taking the sacrifices out of my own angling to put into
Yeah.
Urban Carp Collective.
Brilliant. So, what is it? Talk us through what Urban Carp Collective actually is.
Well, Urban Carp Collective is a platform for all anglers. Initially, I thought it would be something that would be within the British Isles, within the UK, but with the power of social media these days, it's vastly expanded around the globe, creating an urban concrete carping community for everybody to be able to get involved in, share their images, share their captures, their own angling adventures within the platform. Not just myself, Laura as well has taken time to build the structure and communicate, building relations with people. Just to build a community, really, to have a platform for advocacy for not just not just us, and not just obviously there's anglers that are more well known than others. It's a platform for everybody on every level to get involved with, feel a part of it, and advocate themselves as an angler within that platform. Just a bit of realism, really, just coming from the bottom, really, and that's what it was. It was made for the platform, just to advocate other anglers that maybe aren't in the limelight so much.
Yeah, brilliant. How does that go about day to day? Is it your full time gig? Is that just what you do, or do you
To be
work
fair,
elsewhere?
personally myself, obviously we started this about September 2017. I've been a chef most of my life, since I was young, in and out of kitchens, unsociable hours and whatnot. And unfortunately, it took a little bit of a toll on my health, um, myself. So I had to take a break within that industry. Um, then I had to make the decision um, to try and just do something different. And I was luckily enough given some time off. And within that time, that's when I started doing Urban Carp Collective. It was mainly something to keep myself busy. Um, but as I say, it's grown so vast. It's not become my full-time gig really at the minute, because Laura still works in a full-time job in the kitchens, and I'm still doing other bits and bobs in regards to bringing some income into the household. The
Yeah,
income that comes into Urban Carp Collective stays within Urban Carp Collective. Nothing is taken from that, because it was built from nothing. So in a sense, it's always been a building process. So anybody who does purchase anything from Urban Carp Collective, the profits stay in within Urban Carp Collective, for the reasons of new things need to be designed, things need to be paid for, as in new sticker sets or a new hat or a new logo even. So we've always just built it on that community basis, sort of like a social club. The thing I always
right.
said was, you maybe can go to the pub and you'll get a pint in your nice clean glass, and it may be full price, top of the range prices where you go, and the people that you see in there, you might relate with them and you see them now and again. Or you can be the person who goes to the social club, and that's somewhere you regularly go. The pint glass might not be as clean, but the more you go to the social club, a couple of weeks' time, you might have a new snooker table for all you guys to play on. And also, the people you're relating with in that social club, you'll see them on a more regular basis, and you'll build a bigger relationship and a stronger bond with them. So that's always really the philosophy of what Urban Carp Collector's been about. We're the social club. Come in, your pint glass might not be clean, but for what you're giving to the social club, it'll only expand it and make it better within time. And that's the philosophy we've always kept with that.
Nice. I like that answer, mate. Obviously, you mentioned you stopped working in the kitchen due to health issues. What was the issue there? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, of course, I can. Yeah, I'm pretty. If you already know myself, I'm pretty more than open with
Yeah.
about my health, and I was unfortunately it caught up with me and it took a toll on me, and I was suffering from anxiety disorder, and obviously having panic attacks. Now it's something personally that I've suffered from a very young age, but I really kept it to myself, and I used to hide it and just try and deal with it. I've probably had more jobs than a lot of people have had at dinners in regards to the kitchen work, but that was just my way of dealing with things. I had to just keep my head above water, and I've always just tried to look after myself in a sense. And it was just it maybe just things over time just caught up with me a little bit, and I was suffering really bad from like panic attacks. I couldn't go out the house. It was affecting my fishing. I was getting up and getting into work, having panic attacks, and having to come home, and it really got to me. So that was the time, and I decided I'm going to have to make a change within my lifestyle so I can move forward within my own life, because I couldn't go on struggling trying to do an unsociable job, 60-hour a week job, which was something I had a real passion for. But
Mm.
unfortunately, my body just wasn't letting me do it. So I had to come away from that. And even still now to this day, I'm still building and working towards having my own confidence in my own mental health and my own abilities into doing things. And what I've found over the past 2 years as well is I want to use the platform that I've built to be able to spread that message as well, not just through Urban Carp Collective, but also through my own personal social media as well, because I just feel like obviously there's a lot of people that are suffering that don't talk about it, and I feel the more people do talk about it and relate to it, then the better you're going to feel about it. So when somebody messages me after I've put something out there about maybe suffering, being out fishing, I had to run home, and maybe I've put a video on in the shower having a panic attack. Some people may think it's a little bit much, but for me, that I feel that can help people in a very big way. So that's
Yeah.
why I've chose to do that in my own aspect, so to speak.
Yeah, no, it's brave as well. You're sort of putting yourself out there during probably your darkest moments, aren't you?
Yeah, I've had mate, and I have been more than as you can as you can probably tell. I wear my heart on my sleeve, kind of guy. I've always
Yeah.
been like that, and I just feel like there's no point in you can't just show one side to a story, because
No.
especially in now in these days, over the years I've learned people are very quick to judge over your social media content, and
Mm.
um, it can be very judgmental, but it can also be very misunderstood. So I felt that the aspect of putting the whole picture out there for everybody to see, from going to the McDonald's and having a sausage and egg McMuffin, riding on the bike with the speaker in the morning, to getting to the canal and maybe having a wobble and having to get home, and it cutting short a little bit, but that's part of my life. So there's no point in just expressing all the like all the positive in it, because people can
Yeah.
misjudge it. And I feel like putting a bit of negativity of how I feel in there sometimes, yeah, it might be a bit controversial. It might not be a bit as PC as some people would like, but I've got the platform that I've got now from being me and being real. So as far as I'm concerned, I feel like it's only right that you should continue to do that and let people see the whole journey, the whole picture of everything, and how either things might go up and things might go down, but that is the way of life, and it's how you adapt and overcome these things. And I just feel like it's a good message to put out there for other people. That's
No,
why I did it.
definitely. Yeah, I completely agree. And it's nice. It's refreshing to see for a start, to see the whole story, right, rather than just the rose tinted sort of thing that people don't just post on social media.
Yeah, that's it exactly. And I'd just like to say, like on that matter, I'll say one person that did genuinely influence me a hell of a lot. He's got nothing
Mm.
to do with fishing, but he's a massive character within the world and within social media. And for me, Tyson
Mm.
Fury set a
Right.
tone for me when he was going through his troubles, and I noticed it on his social media. Don't get me wrong, like I noticed him in his downs, and I said he was coming. I felt it. I felt his desire, his heart, and his passion for what he was doing, and that's how I
Yeah.
feel about fishing. And when I seen it like
Yeah.
that, I thought, well, if you can do it, I can do it. So in that aspect, he influenced me, and if I can take his influence and pass that influence on to somebody else and let them do their thing, then we're all winning, aren't we? So for me, I'd just
Yeah.
like to say like a massive big ups to him and what he's doing as well, because he's totally inspired me.
No, brilliant, absolutely. And I've listened to him on a few podcasts as well, and how brutally honest and open he's been
That's
about it.
that's it,
And
mate. Yeah.
fair play. It's almost like you feel you get a sense there's going to be a brilliant movie written about him in a few years' time, don't
Yeah,
you?
you
It's
don't
got
even.
that feel to it.
Yeah, you wouldn't even need a movie, because for me, if
Mm,
you've followed him and you've followed his
yeah,
adventure and his whole journey, then you've already seen that movie. You've already experienced that feelings, and you've felt them feelings with him, from him getting
yeah,
knocked down in the 12th round against Wilder and just literally coming back off the
yeah,
canvas from the dead. That just shows that, like, if you have a belief and you have faith, then you can do whatever you want, and that's the message, like, that everybody needs to understand.
yeah. Amazing, mate. Brilliant. You're from I'd probably say sort of 90% of your social media. You're buzzing.
Yeah,
You're full of energy.
that's it.
Where does that energy come from, John? Just a love for life, a love for the fishing, love for what you do.
Like for me, the energy. I've always been like that. I've always been like a Jack in the Box sort of character. But I feel like as long as you're happy within yourself, money does not make you happy, right? And
Mm,
like, like I've never had. I'm not. I've never had loads of money, but it doesn't matter, right? As long as you're just happy within your mindset, we're happy within your surroundings and what you're doing within your life, within your situation. Yet now, at these times, don't get me wrong, everyone's going to be at home, maybe feeling a little bit down, and we're being a little bit under control. But it's only for good reason. So we've got to
mm,
all respect that, and you just got to keep yourself up mentally within, obviously, like I've learned over time with suffering with the anxiety and the depression and whatnot, of things to bring yourself up. I find music is an absolutely massive like percentage within my being within life. As soon as I get up in the morning, music is a massive thing for me. I
yeah.
that like the energy for me. I just feel like that your energy can, what you do can rub off on other people's attitudes so much
Hmm.
that I feel like, okay, if I am a bit negative, it does, and it shows, because if I put something negative on my social media, I will get a response from it. If I put something positive on my social media, I will get a response from it. But it's about like how it comes across. So that's why I feel like just being happy, being a bit jovial. All right, in school, I was the class clown, and even still to this day, I still am probably the class clown. But I always feel like I just want to make people laugh, and if you can make people laugh, then that's laughter's like the key in it. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's
absolutely,
that's what I
mate.
think,
I
mate. Is
completely
laughter's the
agree.
key, and I've always put that little comical, jovial thing within me. Like that's why I walk around. I've just bought a banana bucket hat, right? And I'm wearing it in the house when I'm taking the dog out for a walk. I'm wearing it. I'm walking around when I'm taking the dog in my Crocs, shorts, and socks on with my banana bucket hat on. If an old woman looks across the street while she's stressing out within this pandemic and sees me with my banana hat on, and it gives her a little buzz to go home with, then we've done our job, haven't we? And
Awesome.
that's what I think in that sense. So that's why I'm always like jovial, and obviously I took that from like a comical sketch. So when it's like Peter Kay, Ken Dodd, Jimmy Tarbuck, any Tommy
Mm.
Cooper, stuff like that, then that's why when I say bish bash bosh, a lot of people are like, what bish bash bosh? What does it even mean? No one, I don't know what it means. I just started saying it, and it's sort of like Tommy Cooper. It's like that or whatever. It's the same. It's the same thing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Something
Yeah.
catchy, something for people to relate to and grow with it and use it for themselves. If they say bish bash bosh when they're on the bank and they buzz off it when they've had a fish and think, then that's it. It's done its job. So
Yeah.
that's really why. That's really how I keep keep up, as in within, like you say, the passion. And plus, we all go angling, right? Because if you did start when you were younger and you got that buzz when you were a kid, when you caught your first perch or you caught your first roach or your first gudgeon or whatever it was you caught, right? That feeling you get, we all do that. We all go fishing now for that same reason. You want it. You want it. Feel that same feeling, the enjoyment, the satisfaction of when you caught your first fish. And we all get that when we're catching fish. And what that does is, I feel that I learned this a couple of years ago, it sets us back to being like in a young mindset, and we enjoy
Yeah.
it. But also the thing is with that is everybody has to like have the balance of feeling like a kid, acting like a kid, but also doing that within the same context. So let's not be too childish within like being green-eyed against people or in a sense like that. And I think that's where it comes from. A lot of people forget like how old they are. I'm 32, but I don't feel it, mate. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? I just want to go out and have a laugh, and I feel people need to also realize that as well when they're on the fishing missions themselves. Do you know what I mean? That
Yeah,
we all do it
yeah,
for the same
definitely.
reasons.
Let's talk a bit about your fishing on that note, John. So,
Yeah.
what is your style for those that don't know? I mean, where'd you go? Talk us through that.
For me, I've never drove, so I've always been a foot soldier, right?
Hmm.
So for me, I just want to go out and I don't worry about how big fish are, right? I just want to go out, find some water that's maybe that's not maybe that is close to home. I always feel that in angling you can always look a bit far too far from home, and for me, I've never drove, so I've never had the luxury of saying right, get
Yeah,
in the car, drive a couple of hours, and go and fish wherever. So I've always just had to bike, bus, tram, train it. Even back to when I was younger, I wasn't introduced into fishing by like my parents. It was something that I just like cottoned onto in my first year of seniors, in my first week actually of senior school. So I used to just get me Argos trolley, my Sunridge seat box, all my key nets gear, and I'd be jumping on the train to go like over to the Wirral to go and fish like a little fishery. But it was out the way. But it's part of the adventure. It's part of the journey for me, and like that's something I always enjoy. So I love getting on the bus and someone saying to me, "Oh, what's that you've got? Is it a gun?" And I'm like, "No, it's not a gun. It's a fishing rod." I've had so many people say to me different things, and I just feel it's part of my journey. Like if I was to jump in the car and just drive straight to the lake, I don't
yeah,
I don't necessarily think it'd be the same for me. But that's just it's what you fall into, isn't it? I suppose it's sort of like it's how you grow up. It's just how you experience life, and fishing is the same thing. So for me, my experience is I'm a city boy. I've
yeah.
never drove. I've always just stuck around in Liverpool. Obviously, I was going around the park lakes and whatnot. If I could get a lift off me mate to go somewhere that was a bit different, then we would. But then
Hmm.
I moved away from Liverpool to Sheffield, and then it was just the same again. Really, didn't have much of a social circle here. I just got me bike. I got a bit caught up on the rivers at first because I'd never seen a freshwater river properly. Like, and I was like, "Whoa, what's that?" Went down, caught a trout, caught a chub. Thought I was John Wilson, and then I did, and then for like the next 3.5 years, I just traipsed rivers on my bike and didn't even look at the carp. Um, like I say, I'm not just a carp angler; I'm an all-round angler. I've always caught what I can, whatever I can, um, and just
Yeah,
make the most of it. Fishing's a massive, massive part of my life, and it's not just a massive part of my life; it's a massive part of my mental well-being.
yeah.
Um,
Definitely,
and
I can
that's
relate to that.
yeah, and that's why I have so much advocation, so much passion for it. Because I will say it, and fishing has saved my life. It really
Yeah,
has. There's been situations which we don't need to get into, but it saved my life mentally. It's given me a focus, a drive, something to look forward to. Whereas my yellow brick road, this is what I think of it as, right? My yellow brick road is a munchkin. Yeah. Then I've not been diverted off that yellow brick road because my yellow brick road is fishing.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And the wicked witch might have come and tried to drag me off it, but I just stayed on it. And because I've always had that, the first thing thought about when I wake up in the morning is like, what fish? Where am I going? What am I doing? So I've never been diverted off maybe going down the wrong path in a sense. So that's why I've got so much heart and drive for it.
When did you get into the carp side of things? Were you
Um,
into carp, then
yeah,
did a bit of all round, and then
yeah. Well,
got back into it?
firstly, like I first got into fishing straight up. I started just doing like fishing in the park, float fishing, catching perch, catching tench, catching cruies, loving
Hmm.
getting me tin of sweet corn, me dynamite, Scopex, whatever it was, banging it in the tin, getting over the lake and sitting there for 6 weeks of the summer holidays, just bagging up on tench. Um, then also, like I said, what happened for me, I didn't, I didn't really used to um, go with my parents, and that never used to take me. So it was
Mm.
always just I was solitary on a mission. But then I wanted to catch tench, and I knew that tench I wanted to go knife fishing. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to go knife fishing. I wanted to go knife fishing, get me starlight out. So I had to sort of like build relationships with the older lads around. So then I had a bit of leeway to say to my mum, oh, such and such is fishing on the lake, so can I do a night? Do you know what I mean? And then my mum would be like, oh yeah, you're all right, you're with someone else. So they'd be carp fishing and I'd be tench fishing, do you know what I mean? Sitting on my seat box with my starlight all night. And then it sort of just like progressed from being with the lads tench fishing. They'd gone to the shop once, and then one of them went to Chippy, and one of the rods went, and I caught one of the carp on one of their rods. I was like, oh, that was buzzing. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that was
Not
sound.
had a fight like
Yeah,
that
I was like,
before.
yeah, oh, that's buzzing. Put the rod down a minute. The dial was sensed or whatever it was. Put it down. Sensor Z. Put that down. Yeah. And then I ended up sort of like trickling into car fishing. But what it was, my good pal, my long life friend Nick Smith. We both went like it was. They were our little missions. We'd go wherever. And then as soon as he started trickling into the carp fishing, then I was like, oh, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? And he was a lot better at saving money, and he was good with his money. I've never been good with my money, so I was just like, oh, what's that you've got? And he'd be like, oh yeah. So I'd have to wait 2 weeks, and he'd have the gear, and he inspired me as well because he was like passionate and he had the drive for it as well, and we both just clicked with it. Excuse me. Make sure you wash your hands. And then also, I just ended up falling into it a little bit with my friend Nick, and we just both went round a little partnership. Me and him really was just like going around the local parks, catching the local fish, and then we just went to a club water because he drove, you see, and I was able to get onto the club water with him, and we done a bit of time on there, and just unfortunately within situations within life, not within fishing, fishing had to take a little bit of a back step within some aspects. There was a point where I sold all my gear because it was just a case of that's the way it was. It wasn't something that I wanted to do, but it was something I had to do. So it took a bit of a step back, and then I moved away cities. Like I took the step to just do something, like I say, for my own mindset, and just moved away from like some situations.
Right.
So I took the plunge, grabbed the bag, and moved to Sheffield. Ended up seeing the freshwater river. Managed to get down to my local tackle shop, Billy Clark's, pick up a little whip, and I was just started whipping it. Then it was because like I didn't have much dough at the time, so I was like having a whip, few maggots, and I was just getting me fishing fix on the whip, and then got to the river, something snapped that whip. So straight to the cash converters, looking for a rod. Managed to get myself like a Shimano Hyperloop something or whatever. Got down there,
Nice.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? Got down there and then just started using me knowledge within angling to be able to build myself back up within my own angling, if you know what I mean. So like just using my own experiences and my knowledge, knowing that like there might have been someone was selling, and I knew like it might have been worth more than they were selling it for, so I'd buy it. And then I'd buy it and then I'd sell it so I could get what I wanted. And I managed to acquire all my old gear, what I'd sold before I moved away. I managed to like get it all back. Do you know what I mean? Like my Avon scales and my Shimano GTEs, and I was just happy. I was. Do you know what I mean? I was just getting back what I'd lost in a little bit of a sense. But so I got it all back, and then I was doing the rivers, and it come to a close season, and Laura kept going on at me saying, have you looked at the canal, John? The canal in Sheffield? I was like, well, no. Have you looked at the canal? I was like, no, not really. So I was like, oh, we'll have a look. So I had a ride down and that. I was just looking at it. And the road go a few miles and seeing a car. I was like, right, that's it, we'll start. Get back on the wheel. And the park I've been taking the whip to, I knew there was a few in there because I'd seen them swimming around, and I'd still had angling talk with the locals and whatnot in regards to what was going on with that lake. And I was like, right, there's only 10 carp in there. That's another one to go. And so like found myself on the 17th of March, sat in the morning riding down the canal looking for spots. And then in the afternoon up at that park with the two rods, like fishing tiger nut, like ready for it. Do you know what I mean? And then and then that was it then. After that close season, just sort of like flip the switch again. And then I was back on the carpy train, so to speak. And that's
brilliant.
From there, mate, I've just chodded on, so shall we say?
Yeah. I'd imagine, obviously, with it being sort of more urban based, you must have seen some funny things or got some funny stories to share.
Yeah, mate, we've got many a crazy story.
Give us a couple.
Well, here's one for instance. I can remember like me and I met up with one of the lads, local lads from around here, called Tom Tom Morrison, and him and his missus had gone down to the canal for a little mission. He's new to the area as well, so I was like, come down, blah blah blah. We'll get down there. Got down to one of the basins, and on the weekend previous, there must have been like, do you know the way they have like them crazy outdoor raves or whatever. And there was like on the opposite side of the canal, there was just bin bags everywhere, do you know, where they cleaned it up or whatever, like by the bin. And I was like, we were just fishing. Then these younger lads come looking a bit dodgy, and they went over and lit the bin bag on fire. And I was like, do you know what I mean? It was just stinking of smoke, horrible. And I was like, I can't be doing with that, me. So I was like, right, pass me bucket. I'm going round to put it out. Do you know what I mean? So like, got me a drinking bucket, boom, filled it up. I'm bouncing around there on the other side of the canal. Gets over this bridge to go and put this fire out, and I get like, must have been like 10 yards away from it or whatever, like that. Mr. Do-Gooder John going to put the fire out, and as it gets to it, it just goes bang, and just the whole thing just proper explodes everywhere, like a proper explosion. I was like, whoa, what's that? And then what it must have been was, is all, you know, like they'd had a bit of a rave and there'd been some kind of canisters or something, and they must have had them all in the bin bags and they all exploded. So that was a bit of that was a lucky sketch. I've had all kinds of things. I've been on the bank with my dad, in the park fishing. He's a bad case. I never catch anything when he comes with me anyway. So I'm trying to get. I was obviously, when I was a bit younger, trying to get him into it. We were just on the park one day, and then I ended up like, we were chilling, and there were these like two lads and a set of girls, and then the next thing they started fighting in the park, and this lad's punched this girl. I said to me, Dad, Dad can't be having that, leave that. And I've gone over, ended up having pure murder, like in the park car park, fighting with these two lads because they punched this girl. Do you know what I mean? It had nothing to do with me, like, but I was like, you can't be going around punching girls. Well, my dad still, I'm there in the car park fighting with these two lads. Yeah, there's a christening going on in the pub over the road. It's all out and that because this thing. And my dad's just sat there, just fishing, trying to catch fish. He comes back, I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? He's just like, what? Because he's not like, my dad's not like that. Do you know what I mean? He was like, pack the stuff up, we're going home. Do you know what I mean? So I've had fights while I've been fishing. I've had people in the local park that's known for like strange creepers of the night, I call them. Which you'll be able to see me talk about one of them on one of the topography episodes done with my man Elliot. But yeah, also I was there. I've been there once in November, pretty dark in the local park, like, and I remember I was just there on my own. I was just like, with being there all the time myself, you get comfortable with your surroundings a little bit more, so you notice things that are not meant to be there. Do you know what I mean? And I was on the phone to Laura. It was in the dark. I was like, I could see somebody's silhouette walking to me. So I was like, what's he doing there? Do you know what I mean? I was like on the phone to Laura. What's he doing? What's he doing? I was like, just stay on the phone a minute. So he's walked, and everybody who comes past me when I'm fishing, anywhere they are, I always make contact with them, regardless of who they are, what they look like, who they're with, because you've got it in, especially in the urban environments as well. I always like trying to get a good judgment of people. Do you know what I mean? Regardless. So it's like, hiya pal, hiya mate, hiya love, you're all right, blah, 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 whatever. And then, so I said to this fella, hiya pal, you okay? Like that. And he's just gone, yeah, I'm all right. But then stopped like in the dark, like a good 20 yards away from me. I was like that with my head torch, still on the phone thinking, what's he doing? So he's not walked past me, do you know what I mean? After I confronted him, he just stopped. I was like, oh, that's strange. That's really strange. So he was like stood like 20 yards away. And then I said to Laura, he's still stood there. He's still stood there. And she's like, what do you mean? What's he doing? I was like, I don't know. I said, he's just still stood there. So like, I've said, right, wait there 1 minute. So just out of the blue, I've just stood there and then went, bam, turned round, shone the light on him, yeah? And he was just stood there with his hands down his pants. I was like, whoa, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I was like, what are you doing? So like, I chased him out the park and that, do you know what I mean? But like, it's so strange. Like, I can deal with somebody. I would have rather somebody come and say to me, give me your rod. And I'd be like, what? Do you know what I mean? But this dude, mate, I don't know what he was doing. Let's not go into it. But like, you can sort of build a picture for yourself what he might have been doing in the park. But like, I've just done that, bam, shone the light on me, stood there with his hands pants. I was like, whoa, this is mad. So like, I can deal with anyone like maybe coming giving me bother or whatever while we're in the park. But mentally can't deal with myself. It's the thought of sitting there fishing and some fellas in a bush doing his
Knocking
do.
one out.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. So yeah, like things like that. There's all kinds of. I've had people swimming through me lines and that in the park. Like when we were younger, like we used to have a laugh and that, and like there used to be like people come. When you're young, you know what I mean. You're a bit more immature and that. You know what I mean. Come on, everyone's been a bit immature when they're young and that. And like, do you remember them like that? I can tell you something. Like, remember like them dynamite? What were they? Squid and octopus boilies and that.
Oh yeah,
Like purple bag they used to come in. And like me and my mate Nick, who I mentioned before, like we'd be sitting on the park late at night and there'd be like some people rough coming around saying, "Have you got a ciggy? Have you got a ciggy?" Do you know what I mean? And you'd be like, "Whoa, we're only fishing, mate. Chill out." You're like, "Got a ciggy?" You're like, "Right, do you want a ciggy? Do you want one of have one of them boilies?" And he'd have a ciggy, and he'd have it. Do you know what I mean? Just pure childish self-entertainment. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, eat that squid and octopus boilie, and we'll give you one. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I know it's not the right thing to do, but we were young then. Do you know what I mean? And it's like that video that is if anyone's seen on YouTube where that kid's winding that fella up in the entry and he's saying, "Where are you? I'm in the entry." That. Do you know what I mean? If you've not seen that, make sure you go and have a look. But if you know, you know. But it's just it's one of them things, isn't it? But yeah, all
yeah,
kinds of crazy goings on, mate. Like especially on public water, there's so many variations of things going on. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I bet. Yeah,
Swans attacking dogs and people having to jump in for the dog while the swans get bees on freeze, just letting the bees on freeze swim into the lake up to the swan. Oh yeah, do you know what I mean? And it's just all crazy things. There's all kinds goes on.
yeah. I bet. I bet.
It's
How are you coping at home in this lockdown period? Are you keeping busy?
yeah, to be honest, I don't know what day we're on. I don't even know what day it is,
Right.
to be honest with you. But yeah,
Yeah.
just keeping busy, mate. I did intend to like get my head down within Urban Carp Collective structurally wise, but in the first week I sort of just took a week off. Got myself
Yeah.
Call of Duty on the PlayStation, just took a week off. Do you know what I mean? I've been doing it like consistently for 2.5 years or whatever, every day Instagram stories, and I thought I'm gonna have a little bit of chill time. So I sort of jumped in my time machine and just like had a little gone back 10, 12 years and just become serial hardcore gaming again with my Turtle Beach
Yeah.
headset on. And but the good thing is about it as well is also with the lockdown as well. Like it's give people time as well to talk in a way that not people you maybe not have spoken with as much. Do you
Mm.
know what I mean? You can associate not all just about fishing. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not all just about fishing. Your fishing family, you can talk to them about anything, whether it be a computer games, because we all have different interests as well as fishing. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I just feel like it's nice to be talking to other people about other things as well as fishing. Do you know what I mean? So like we've got now loads of Urban Carp Collective reps all on Call of Duty running around, do you know what I mean? And we're all talking on that instead. And it's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite cool to be honest. It's a good family feeling, mate, to be honest with you. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Like a
really enjoy it.
community, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like a
exactly
break.
what I want it to be, mate. Just pure community. And it's everywhere. Like it's just really good. I really enjoy it. Like I
Yeah.
enjoy
Nice.
what it's become, to be honest with you. And just from just time and effort, really. Just like
Mm.
just time and effort. And communication is a massive, massive like thing, I think. It's so important.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And I'm rubbish at talking. So he says doing a podcast. But
I
yeah, I know what you mean.
could talk the
Communication's
hand leg off
key.
a donkey, mate. You could go and have your tea and I'd still be talking.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
On the lockdown note, what about any recommendations for Netflix, Amazon Prime, film series? Give us a few of them that people can jot down to watch.
For me, I've jumped back on the old Narcos sketch of me. I do like a bit of
Yeah,
cartel stuff. So
yeah.
jump back on the Narcos. I'm on Narcos Mexico at the minute. Laura's just got the Disney Plus scene on the go, so it's going to be a bit of Jungle Book, Sword in the Stone, all them.
Marvel.
Do you know? Yeah, a bit of Marvel. Yeah, I don't mind a bit of Marvel, but take me back to the old Disney classics for me. I love it, mate. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
like Jungle Book. She put it on last night for a little clip, and I just got like when you see like a CR niece and she's just like zoned into the telly, you can't see, she doesn't know anything else what's going on around her. That happened
yeah.
to me last night. I was like, whoa, just on the Jungle Book missions. But yeah, likes of what else is there? Oh, there's loads of things like Amazon Prime. I've not really gone on to, but
Yeah.
if you've not seen what else, Narcos, I do enjoy watching. Everyone's going on
I,
about this. Is it Tiger King at the minute?
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
not dribbled
I've
onto
not.
that myself, but I think
No,
that's
I've
meant
not
to
seen
be.
it.
That's meant to be a
Um,
good one.
Ozark's good. I mentioned that on the previous
What's
podcast.
that? What's that? Ozark, yeah,
Ozark, yeah, it's a bit like it's like this account. It's American. It's this accountant
yeah,
guy that sort of basically ends up doing the books for um, like a big dealer.
yeah,
But it's really good, really well written, good actors. And it's got sort of like quite a few funny twists to it. But that's well worth watching. I
yeah.
think that's
Decent,
Netflix. I think.
is it? I don't know
Um,
where this film you'll be able to find it, but I'll just say if we're talking about films
mm,
in this situation, if you've got the time to go and watch it, right? Please go and watch it. Yeah, go and watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson. Right, for me, that is in my top 5, and in this situation, it's definitely going to give you a laugh. Do you know what I mean?
right.
And that's definitely on. That's definitely one to watch if you haven't already.
Nice. I watched one because obviously I enjoy my photography and videography.
Yeah,
Someone recommended it from like a guy that I follow on Instagram called Interstellar. Have you seen that?
I've heard of that actually, but I don't. I've never
Yeah,
seen it. No, Interstellar. I've
bit
heard of
full
that.
on.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
It was like it's like nearly 3 hours long as well.
Oosh. Yeah,
Yeah,
a long one.
I
That
haven't
like.
got that sort of attention span, mate. I have to get up and do stuff.
Yeah, there's no sport
Um,
either at the minute, which is a bit of a
no,
downfall as well. So
yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's a weird time.
yeah, it's a bit. It is crazy. Like no football. Wimbledon's been cancelled. The Olympics are all changed. Formula One's gone.
Yeah,
It's crazy. It's a crazy time. Like, but
yeah, yeah, and all the
we'll all come
knock-on
through.
effects
We'll all
now.
come out the other side of it all better. And we'll all. One thing we will, society will appreciate outdoors a hell of a lot more. And I'll say,
Yeah,
I bet you we see a hell of a lot more fishermen as well out on them banks.
mm,
Telling you now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I agree, mate. I
yeah,
agree. All right, I've got a question to ask you from our last guest, which was Lewis, who's
yeah.
King Cuomo on Instagram.
Hmm.
And then, so his question is: if you could be, or if you could have been behind the lens for a famous capture of a carp in the past, what
Right.
capture would it be? Who, sort of, where, and why?
Famous captures. Let's go for a known captures. I'd
Hmm.
probably go for a for a pretty recent one, really. Actually, to be fair, there was a carp caught from the River Thames. I think it was last year by a guy called Nick Elliott, which many people will probably know.
Mm,
A lovely looking carp, right? An absolutely lovely looking mirror carp, right? And I'd love to be behind the lens for that capture because when Nick obviously publicised that he'd caught this fish, it seemed that like hordes of like anglers come from nowhere, and there seemed to be a bit of controversy about him catching the fish, and there was all these different things going on. I seen it all over social media, people saying I'm sick of this, I'm touring that, and the guy, to be fair, mate, he's gone out, he's caught a fish, he's took a photo, and he's put it on, and apparently now the fish has passed away due to whatever this, that, and what another. Like I said
mm,
before, everyone these days is so quick to judge over social media that people don't really get the full story of things sometimes, and I just feel like that is something I would have been like to been just behind the lens, just to watch
yeah.
how he does his do, and not even to like not to criticize, not to anything, just to see how he does his do, and like to be honest with you, a lot of people always stick their oar in where it's not wanted, and then it creates the wrong picture, and
Mm,
what I call it myself is within social media. It used to happen a long time ago before social media, and it does it within life for everyone. People, I call it defamation of character, right?
mm.
And that's what it is. People like, I don't know if they're green-eyed or whatever. I don't know why people can't just be happy for other people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I completely agree. There's a lot of people that spend a lot of their time tearing down someone else's house rather than concentrating on building
yeah,
theirs.
yeah. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones as well, mate. To be fair, do
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And a lot of them do live in glass houses, but they don't tell you what number they live in. So,
yeah,
it's just a case of that, and like, just, just, just be positive to people, innit? Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
There's no reason to just be like putting them down. Do you know what I mean? Giving them negativity. If they're doing something
exactly.
that you want to do, then just take inspiration from them and do it yourself. Do
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Off your own bat, with your own ideas, with your own, you know what I mean? Just have a go, because God loves a
Yeah,
tryer, and you're not gonna know until you try. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, "Oh, to me, you've got this brand, you're smashing it, you this and that." Do you know what I mean? Just
That's good.
just have a think before you start judging other people over the social media,
Yeah,
because like
lovely.
it's not something that like you should be doing. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree, mate. I agree. All right, moving on from that.
Yeah.
Have you got a question that you can ask the next guest?
Yeah, true, right. I've got a question. It's going to be, like I said earlier on, it's going to be a music orientated question for me.
Okay.
So, if you were to go and you were told you're going fishing, right, and you're going on a secret syndicate, but you were staying there, you weren't coming home. You were on COVID-19 secret syndicate lockdown, right? And you can only take one album with you. What album are you going to take?
Right, I'm writing that down as we speak.
And that's my question. You're allowed
Nice.
one album. It cannot be a compilation album. It has to be a
Right.
specific artist or band.
Okay. Why don't you answer the question as well? What would yours
Me,
be?
Beatles. I'd probably take White Album. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Nice. I do like watching your Instagram stories with your little speaker playing
Yeah,
out like
mate.
golden wicked tunes
That's
that you
it, mate.
sort of that you love that you forgot about. I'm like, I
That's it.
forgot about that.
It's sort of like heart radio, but without the adverts, mate. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's what it is.
Yeah. A
But
bit
yeah,
better than heart, I'd say.
while we're at it, if you
Absolute, maybe.
check it out on Spotify, Urban Carp Collective playlist, if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Loads of feel good tunes on there. You might see a bit of the odd slowies in there because I do like a sing song now and again. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Romancing Laura.
That's it, mate. Bit of what do they call it? Serenading.
Yeah.
When I get a
Awesome.
chance. Yeah.
One last thing. I want everyone that I speak to in this lockdown period to do me a 60-second drawing of a carp.
Right, okay.
Sketch, and then just send it to me on WhatsApp. I'll give you my WhatsApp in a minute.
All right, mate.
Do the picture, and then get Laura to do a video of you doing it, so I know it's 60 seconds. And then when you send me the picture, I want it to be. Don't put your name on the picture initially before you send the picture, because I want it to be anonymous, so there's no bias between people. And I'm just going to do like an A versus B and do like a little tournament just for a laugh, and then we'll come up with a prize at the end.
Yeah, no worries.
Awesome.
Don't be disappointed if it comes back like that faith fish, you want to see it on back of people's cars.
Oh yeah,
that could just about write my name.
Yeah, that's right, mate. No, trust me, you got no worries. Awesome, John. We'll wrap up there. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks very much for your time, mate. It's been nice speaking to you. Take care.
You,
Andrew, bye. Bye.